Hey everybody, it's Dive Girl Dab. I'm in the boat. So, I've been working on getting the boat watertight as much as possible and prepared for the onslaught of our monsoon season, where I'm going to see about 80 inches of rain. Well, we just had a big storm come through, and I measured 1.3 inches in a 24-hour period, which is quite a lot of rain. But right before that, I went out and I leveled the boat, put some more blocking under it, which I'm going to show you in a little while. And then, because what was happening is I had water collecting in the bow up on the top there, and then I had water in the bilge. So now that it's level, the bilge is dry, and that makes me really happy. So one less concern right now. Good. So this morning, what I did is I came out here when it was raining. Now, one of the things I did that I haven't showed you guys is, see this, there's some clear plastic that I put up over the boat. So this is some greenhouse plastic that I had out in the garden. And I took that bed apart and had it just sitting here. So I decided to go ahead and put it to use on the boat. It's really stretchy, which is good. So we'll look at that also. But I came in here when it was raining, and what I noticed is that these are just pieces of acrylic in here with caulk. And all of these holes where the screws were going through the frames were open. And so I have water just oozing through those holes. So yesterday I came out and I put some clear packing tape on the outside. This is just temporary because I wanted just to keep whatever I smushed in these holes, I want to keep it flush. Because I don't want to have to go out there and sand and then screw up the paint and all of that. So I just put that packing tape on there, and once it's cured I'll go take it off. So I did these 4 windows here. This one is was being in the process of being replaced with this window, and I'm just not ready to dick around with that. So I'm just going to close this off for now. But you can see here's that clear packing tape that I came around and used as a mold. So all of these little holes around here are filled now. I can drill them out anytime I want. I also came in the back of these lighting fixtures and kind of filled in some of those gaps. And I looked for holes anywhere that I could find them. Now, before it started raining, I went and I bought some of this tubing. And the anchor locker up there, I went ahead and attached some of that tubing that comes out. And you can see inside the boat here, it's nice and dry. Water's not going to build up much because it'll overflow in all of these bulkhead fittings that are still open. But there are places that the boat can take on water, and I'd rather not have it do that at all. Then I came up here, and any of these holes up in here went ahead and filled. This is all fully covered in plastic, but these are all exposed, so I decided to just go ahead and plug them. It will just be one place that won't leak. I had some extra, and this core was exposed, so I went ahead and coated that up. And the same thing on this side. That core was exposed, so I covered it up also. And I've taken up a nest out of here of yellow jackets. And I gotta take care of those guys right now. Because it's warming up, they're gonna come sting me. So this is what I use, which is neem oil and soap. Yeah, because it's... Sorry guys, I can't have you in here. Alright. Anyway, wasps are under control. The nice thing about the neem oil is it doesn't smell terrible. So I've added some hose here. Looks like that one's plugged a little bit, but it's easy enough to clean them. I can see them. These holes I also plugged all the way around. So fewer holes to leak. I did up around the windshield a lot of these. Looks like I didn't do this one, but this has quite an overhang, and you can see the plastic up there. So this is going to be bone dry. I also got a piece of board and put some epoxy in here. This is just temporary because I want all the water to flow to that other fitting in the back there. So this is temporary just to seal this up. The problem with this one is it sits right over the engine, and I don't want that draining on the motor. Now today what I'm going to do is I have a little more of this tubing here. So I was checking all my hoses, and see there's a section of that hose too. So this cockpit needs to get drained out the stern here. Oops. Okay. So there's my fitting, which I haven't installed yet because I'm really not ready to do those. See, all these backer boards back here I want to replace too, and so I'm going to take some time and come in here. I mean, these backer pieces are like every little piece of scrap they had. Look at that. It's terrible. They're all individual scrap pieces, and then they had scrap here. So I gotta come take all this crap out. So I want all this stuff out and rebuilt. And I gotta pull out this tank and clean it. I have a new diesel 5-gallon can, but this is quite a bit bigger than that, and she's full. So I don't know if she's full of water or fuel, but I'm gonna find out. It's gonna all come out and get cleaned. So right now what I'm going to do is, this is that stern fitting here in the cockpit, and this is where the water will come out. So I'm going to attach a hose here and just push it through that opening. Alright, well, it's not going to see a lot of water, but I want to make sure, I did put a clamp on it, I want to make sure that whatever water comes in the cockpit has a way to get out. Now it can always drain into the bilge, and I have a hole drained in the bottom of the keel, and that's the last resort where it'll drain to, but yeah, at least this has a way to get out now. So one of my projects this winter is going to be to pull all these little pieces. And on a wet, rainy day, this will be a good job working on the inside of the boat, I think. Yeah. I am going to take the oscillating tool and I'm going to cut these boxes out because I'm going to do something different here with the water tanks. So, yeah, that's going to come out. The first thing I want to do is put in the bulkhead up there, but I'm not sure exactly where I want it. So I think what I'm going to do is get some cardboard and pieces in here, and decide where I want that to go, and kind of lay out the boat the way I want it to go, and then start to kind of build to that. I don't think I'm going to divert a lot from the original, honestly. I don't. I really thought about it. I played around. The table dinette, I'm probably going to do differently. More of a settee is probably going to be a change that I will do. Because I want to be able to lay down in the middle of the boat and watch a movie. So, yeah. But I think we're going to be pretty well buttoned up for winter. Now there was little holes all along the edge of this coaming here where all that beautiful wood rotted out. So I went ahead and filled those too. You can see there's a little piece of wood that I made as a board on there for that drain hole. This is on the front of that stern that I plugged up. So all the water's going to have to go that way now. but it has a good way to drain, and that's not into the bilge. I do have the engine well covered up. I have a control panel over there that's well covered up. So if I get leaks, those guys are not going to see any more corrosion, I hope. And yeah, I'm going to leave these supports here just because I might want to use those for some reason. And then, oh, let's go look outside. What I did outside with all that plastic covering us up. Before I leave, I have one more chore to do, and that is this chunk of original fiberglass came with the boat. So it comes out of one of these windows. See, and I like those windows, but I might want to move those around somewhere else on the boat, depending on my new layout. So I'm going to keep this and not fiberglass it, but I don't want to have just a plastic window here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use this it's a butyl elastomer caulk rubber sealant, and I'm just going to run some around it and smush it up in there, because really the only thing I want to do is keep water from coming in this window. So I just need a little bit around the edge here, and then I'm going to smush it on, and then after that all sets up, I can take that plastic off. But if I use butyl, then instead of fiberglass or like thickened epoxy, Thixo, something like that, I wouldn't be able to get that apart again, and I might want to use it. So let's get all set up here. Alright, here goes nothing. So I just put some around the edge here, all the way around. So, yeah, I think I'm going to put the coarse side next to it, so it's got a little tooth. Smush. Okay. Woo, it is hot, and yeah, it's hot and sweaty in here. But I think that's gonna work. Sealed up nicely. We'll leave that alone, let it dry. Please stay attached. These are smushed in really well, so I gave it some good down below. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, well, it's time to leave, I think. Cool. Well, these little, see right there is your drain, so this one's plugged off now and everything's gonna run back there. Fingers crossed that's gonna work. Alright, here we are on deck. So you can see on my little outrigger here, I put some of that foam over the ends of it and taped it all together just to make it not be pointy. I did the same thing on this side. So the cabin is really dry. So now I'm really worried about keeping water out of here. My plastic's not quite long enough on this side, but this is prevailing rain from this direction, so I went a little lower here. Basically, I took the boom, and if you look in the little tabernacle fitting up there, I put the bolt in and then set the mast on top. It is lashed to the bolt, and the bolt is tight, so I don't think the mast's going to go anywhere, and the plastic holds it down really nicely. But you can see that I had water pooling up front there, and now it's starting to run to the back drain. So I think I have very good drainage on the boat now, because all the drains are going to run out. That's the last one that we hooked going up out the stern. Well, she's not where I want her to be yet, but that's okay. At least all those little holes are filled in. And man, she sits high in the driveway, let me tell you what. And she's shedding 95% of the water. The rest is going to hit the front deck and out the drains. Top is just So this was the corrugated pipe that they had running out of that drain, and it just wasn't long enough. This stuff's ancient, and that clamp is rusted, so I know where that's going to go. Bye-bye. But look at how high she is in the driveway. Holy Toledo. I mean, I look out the window and all I see is a boat now. So she was pitched down a little bit. And I brought that front up quite a lot. She's braced in, she's blocked. And I got down with the level. There's a 2x12 with all 4x4s below and all pressure treated below. And so she's blocked up on this brace right now, primarily. And then she's backed up by this guy. I have the crank locked off so that it can go up or down, but man, oh man, is she like a tall drink of water sitting on the sidewalk. Look at that. I mean, yeah. But there's a chunk of hose sticking out from the anchor locker. She drains beautifully now. Really does. Water drains really nice. One of the first things I did when I got there was I put these little reflectors on because I was worried about being seen. I'm kind of a safety person, so there's one in the back. So what I did is I went out in the shop and I got one of my tow straps. And, and I actually strapped the boat to it. This is a new post I just set. It has a really big base to it. It's a 4x6 post. And, if you look, if this boat runs away, it's gonna go right into the neighbor's yard. And that bothers me. So I feel like I did my due diligence there. I have a new post and I have that anchored. All four wheels are blocked up really nice and tight. And it's really pretty level on this part of my property here. But, yeah. So I got that squared away. I feel good, like she's not gonna launch into the neighbor's house. That would be terrible. Anyway, so yeah, just a chunk of plastic up there. I think that's maybe 20 foot by 10. So I don't know if I'm going to do more. I have another piece. I might do more in the front. So there's that piece right there, that window. It's got duct tape all around it. So that's the one that I just put the caulk on, and that new piece. So these will. Then it was really just this front section that was leaking, these four windows up here. But I think I'm going to be in much better shape now the next storm. I really do want to tarp the bow in that, but I'm just not sure what I'm going to work on next. And I know that I'm probably going to have to move this sometime soon to move the camper out. So I'm just on hold. I'm working on things to prevent problems, and keeping water out of the boat right now seems like a really good idea. But this tarp is great. It's nice and bright. I can work under it. It can move with the boat, which is terrific. It's not attached to the fence or anything. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's terrific. So water's going to be shedding off quite nicely. So I think that's kind of it. You know, these deck drains, I've got some of them, but I just don't have them finished up right now. So I'm not gonna I don't have the right hose. And you know, oh, I did put one. You know, this is this is the hole that I drilled into the keel for it to not collect any water in the bilge at all. And so I'm concerned about this water always running out onto the wood where that carpet's covered with. And fresh water is the enemy of wood. So I did go and shove a tube up in there, and so hopefully it'll drip away from that board. I don't know how old that board is, other than it's been under this trailer for at least 10 years. The trailer's, I think, a 95. So it's nearer than that. It was a 210. It's a 210 trailer. So the trailer's 11 years old. So that's probably original lumber. But I know it's been dry for 10 years. Susie's had it covered. But anyway, so I put a tube in there to keep that water away. Because like I said, we get a lot of rain here. So, yeah, this looks pretty good right now. I think we're going to be alright. That makes me happy that those front little lights, you can't call them portholes. Might have been Tom that was working on replacing this one with a porthole, because that's the bathroom and you'd really like to have a window that opens. And I think I'll get down to installing that. Some ports here. It's nice to have those bigger ones that do open right there. I like those. But that's the only real ventilation, is those two windows, one on each side, the rear doorway, and then the front hatch. It's the only ventilation the boat gets. So I don't really like that. I want more ventilation. I'll probably make me some dory boxes. And I'm toying with building a butterfly hatch for that. I think that would be a lot of fun to build. I've got wood. So I just love this boat. Every day I wake up and I open the curtains and I check to see what she looks like, and I smile. Really smile. Yeah, I think the other reason I don't want to put another tarp on the bow is I'm toying with standing the mast. So if I add more tarps, I'm going to take them down for that. She's good now. Really. Alright, guys. I'm going to go because I'm just jabbering along here now. But sometimes that's kind of fun, I think. Just to kind of jabber about your project, what you're thinking about doing, and what you've been doing, and that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, I anchored my boat to my new concrete post with a tow strap. I think those are rated like 10,000 pounds or something, and I'm just about 9. But it's very tight, so there's not going to be a chance for it to get a running start. Yeah, I just like that it's anchored down. Protects me. I just think it's smart. I just don't want this thing to run away and hurt somebody. You know, somebody could be driving by and it stabbed the side of their car. Oh my God, that would be horrible. So, yeah, I anchored it, so I don't have to fret over that. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a cool drink. And I evicted the wasps. That makes me happy. I don't want to get stung with that. I got stung like a dozen times this summer. Enough. I love you, girl. Love this boat. Alright, guys. Yeah, we're working on winterizing. And that's what's going on, is a epoxy filled with some thickened epoxy in a piping bag. All those little screw holes around the windows. So those are permanently sealed now. And I can drill them out later, or leave them like they are. Alright, guys. Talk to you later. Love ya. Bye-bye.